building, and we will learn few case studies which are new to the segment and which are very important for practical life as well as for examination purposes. Without wasting much time, I would like to request Dr. Rajvinder sir to please take the charge for today's session.
Thank you, Sandeep ji. Good morning, friends, and very warm welcome to this session. So today we will continue with the case studies we were discussing yesterday. Next up, a shop in Eastwood is leased by Mr. Manoj for 50 years for rupees 3 lakh per annum and initial premium of rupees 95 lakh. Back rent in the market is 6 lakh 30,000 per annum. The freehold return of similar property nearby is 9% and long-term lease return is 14%. Find out the freeholder's interest. See here, you have to find out the interest of Mr. Manoj. Mr. Manoj is a freehold lessor. You have to find the lessor's interest. So what is the right of the lessor? What is the right of the lessor? लेसर का राइट क्या है? Please read this question.
He gets 3 lakhs per annum with the premium of 95 lakh.
With a premium of 95 lakh. So he will be getting 3 lakh for 50 years. After 50 years, what he will be getting?
He will return back, will get back the property.
He will get back the property, and what he will get after 50 years?
He will get a rental of 6,30,000.
So he will get a rent of 6,30,000 per annum after 50 years. So the thing is that you for 50 years you are getting 3 lakh. So what will be the value of this 3 lakh for 50 years?
1 crore. 1 crore 50,000.
How you have calculated 1 crore? See here, long-term lease return is 14%. See here, it is 50 years. If lease is 50 years, which YP will you will be using?
Perpetual.
Perpetual.
So it is perpetual. If it is more than 50 years, means 51 years, then you will be using perpetual. Otherwise, it will not make any difference, much difference, because YP single rate is 7.136 and YP perpetual will also be approximately 7.14. So 51 years, 50 years, 51 years, 50 years. 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 51 So you can, if it is 50 years, you can use either single rate or you can use YP perpetual. It will not make any difference. But if it is less than 50 years, you have to use YP single rate. So otherwise you need not to use any YP. Simply go to Excel. See here. So which formula you will be using in Excel for calculating capitalized value of 3 lakh?
PV,
So
PV function.
PV. So in any cell you type simply PV, bracket starts. So he will ask you certain parameters. First he has asked you about the rate. So rate is 14%. NPER is the term. So lease term is 50 years. Next he has asked PMT. PMT is rent every year or net income or payment every year. It is 3 lakh.
Sir.
Okay. So nothing is to be filled in FV. Future value कुछ नहीं है हमारे पास. तो उसके लिए you will simply have a comma without any space. And then he is asking you about the payment time type. So we generally use ordinary annuity. For that you have to type 0 in place of type. Type is 0. If it is not ordinary annuity, if it is annuity due, you will type 1. So we generally use ordinary annuity. So type is 0. Close the bracket and press enter. Clear है? कोई doubt है? If you have any doubt how to use Excel for finding PV, you can ask.
सर
किसी
ये
को कोई
पीवी यूज के लिए बता दो सर, ये एक्सप्लेन कर दो सर प्लीज।
सर PV जो है देखिए सर आपने यहाँ पे what you have find out here? What is this 7.136? What is this?
If we put 1 instead of 3 lakhs, it will give same figure, 7.136.
So basically क्या है कि what he is getting every year? He is getting 3 lakh every year. He is getting 3 lakh every year. So we have multiply it with a factor that is 7.136. So what is this 7.136? This is YP single rate. So what is basically YP? See here, I will explain this term YP.
Present value of 1 rupee for 50 years.
It is basically present value of ₹1 which you have been getting for 50 years. देखिए रमनदीप जी, let us suppose we take an example. You are receiving ₹1 every year for 15 years. आपको 15 साल के लिए ₹1 मिल रहा है हर साल, ठीक है। अब वो ₹1 अगर आप बैंक में जमा करवा रहे हो, आज की डेट में हमने उसकी वैल्यू निकालनी है। ये ₹1 आपको मिलना है 1 साल के बाद। 1 साल के बाद आपको ₹1 मिलना है। आज की डेट में 6% के हिसाब से उसकी वैल्यू 94 पैसा है, जो ₹1 आज मिल रहा है। जो आपको 2 साल बाद मिलना है उसकी वैल्यू आज की डेट में 89 पैसे है। जो 3 साल के बाद मिलना है उसकी वैल्यू 84 पैसे। जो 15 साल तक आपको ₹1 मिलना था, हर साल ₹1 मिलना था, आज की डेट में उसकी क्या वैल्यू है? उसकी वैल्यू ₹9.72 है। वैसे आपको ₹15 मिलने थे, अदरवाइज यू विल बी गेटिंग ₹15। लेकिन आप अगर कहोगे मेरे को आज ही मिल जाए, हर साल नहीं मैं लेना ₹1, तो आपको कितने पैसे मिलेंगे? ₹9.72 मिलेंगे 15 रुपए के हिसाब से। अगर इसी तरीके से अगर ₹1000 मिलना था आपको हर साल ₹1000 मिलना था, 15 साल के लिए आपको 15,000 मिलना था। लेकिन अगर आप कहोगे मेरे को आज ही मिल जाए, तो आपको कितने पैसे मिलेंगे? सॉरी, 10,000 मिलना था तो आपको 1,50,000 मिलना था। लेकिन अगर आज ही आप पैसे लेने चाहते हैं तो आपको ₹97,200 मिलेगा। यू विल बी गेटिंग 97,200 इंस्टेड ऑफ ₹1,50,000। तो दिस इज प्रेजेंट वैल्यू ऑफ व्हाट यू वर बी गेटिंग एवरी ईयर। तो बट इफ एक तो ऐसे है कि हर साल आपने निकाला कि आपको 10,000 मिलना था, पहले साल के एंड में आपको आज 9400 मिला। जो 2 साल के बाद मिलना था वो 8900 मिला। आप इसको सभी को एड मिल करा तो आपको 97,200 आ गया। लेकिन अब दूसरा तरीका क्या कर सकते हो कि हर साल ऐसा निकालने की बजाय अगर आपने 10,000 को ये जो ₹1 वाला फैक्टर है इससे मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया 9.72 से, सीधा आपको 97,200 मिल गया। हर बार ऐसा करने की बजाय, कैलकुलेशन करने की बजाय आपने 10,000 को 9.72 से मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया, ये वाला जो 9.7। सो दिस इज बेसिकली वाईपी। हमने ₹1 के लिए निकाल लिया, 10,000 के लिए उससे मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया, एक यूनिटरी मेथड लगा लिया। अब ₹1 के लिए कितनी वैल्यू होगी किसी परसेंटेज पे, दैट इज कॉल्ड वाईपी, दैट इज प्रेजेंट वैल्यू ऑफ ₹1 बेसिकली। उसका नाम हमने ईयर्स परचेज दे दिया है। तो एक बात ये समझ लगी कि वाईपी है क्या बेसिकली। अब एक तो ये तरीका है कि आप अगर वाईपी निकालें, हम किसी तरीके से ये 9.72 फाइंड आउट करें कि समहाउ वी फाइंड दिस 9.72, तो हम 10,000 से मल्टीप्लाई कर दें। तो उसके लिए वी हैव 4 मेथड्स ऑफ वाईपी: वाईपी सिंगल रेट, वाईपी डुअल रेट, वाईपी परपेचुअल एंड वाईपी परपेचुअल टू रिवर्शन टू परपेचुएट। तो अगर आप इस तरीके से ये 97,200, दिस इज कॉल्ड कैपिटलाइज्ड वैल्यू, दिस वैल्यू इज कॉल्ड कैपिटलाइज्ड वैल्यू। जो आपका राइट है हर साल ₹10,000 लेने का 15 साल के लिए, 6% अगर रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट है, तो आपकी जो वैल्यू है आज की डेट में, जो उस 10,000 की वैल्यू 1,50,000 की जो वैल्यू है, दैट वैल्यू इज कॉल्ड कैपिटलाइज्ड वैल्यू। अब इस क्वेश्चन में भी वही है कि इंस्टेड ऑफ 10,000 मिस्टर मनोज इज गेटिंग 3 लाख पर एनम, उसको हर साल 3 लाख मिल रहा है। 14% रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट है। रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट इज 14%। तो आइदर यू फाइंड आउट वाईपी, एक तो ये मेथड है कि हमने हर साल के लिए प्रेजेंट वैल्यू निकालने की बजाय हमने एक फार्मूला ड्राइव कर लिया। ये फार्मूला हो गया सिंगल रेट का। दूसरा जो तरीका है दैट सेकंड मेथड इज कि अगर आपने एक तो वाईपी ये फाइंड आउट किया 7.136 हो जाओ, पहले केस में हमारे 10,000 वाले केस में 9.72 आया था, वो आ गया हमारा 7.136, हमने 3 लाख से मल्टीप्लाई किया। एक तो ये तरीका है, उसके लिए आपको ये फार्मूला याद करना पड़ेगा। यू हैव टू रिमेम्बर दिस फार्मूला। सेकेंड मेथड इज कि यू गेट इट डायरेक्टली फ्रॉम एक्सेल। आप इसको एक्सेल से सीधा ही फाइंड आउट कर सकते हैं। यू नीड नॉट टू रिमेम्बर द फॉर्मूला। So for that, simply go to Excel. For that, simply go to Excel. You type out. This is basically present value of rupees 3 lakh. This is basically present value of rupees 3 lakh for 50 years at 14% rate of interest. So you just simply type PV bracket start. So it will ask you certain parameters to be entered. First, he is asking about rate. Rate, you know, it is 14%. Next, he is asking NPER, the payment, the rent which you have to get every year, which is 3 lakh. So remember, it should be annual. This value should be annual. अगर month में दिया, monthly दिया या कोई और quarterly दिया, you have to convert it into month, yearly. So yearly it is 3 lakh. NPER number of years is 50 year. You have to get 3 पेमेंट। फ्यूचर वैल्यू में कुछ नहीं आएगा, उसके लिए आप सिंपली कॉमा डाल दोगे और उसके बाद वो पूछ रहा है टाइप। तो टाइप, देयर इज 2 टाइप्स ऑफ एन्युटी, वन इज ऑर्डिनरी एन्युटी दैट सेकंड वन इज एन्युटी ड्यू, जो आपने पढ़ा है। ऑर्डिनरी एन्युटी में वी गेट द पेमेंट एट द एंड ऑफ द पीरियड एंड इन केस ऑफ एन्युटी ड्यू payment is done at the start of the period.
Friends, it is a very important point to be noted on it. Annuity due and ordinary annuity. What is the difference between the two annuities? At the time of reading the question, you may skip this important concept. What is ordinary annuity? If only annuity is mentioned, it is ordinary annuity. If annuity due is mentioned, you should know what is the difference between the two annuities and how to calculate. There is a lot of difference between the output of both the annuities. Yes, sir. Please continue.
So simply press 0, bracket close, press enter. You get almost the similar value. 21,39,786. Approximately similar value. So then next he will be getting rupees 6,30,000 after 50 years perpetually. So you apply YP perpetual 6,30,000 into 100 upon 9. or you can also do it simply in Excel also. अगर एक्सेल में करना है तो कैसे करेंगे हम देखिए. Your rate of interest is 9%. Rent you will be getting 6,30,000. Okay. Simply press equal to 6,30,000 means your address of your cell is J7 divided by J6. You will get the same also. Here again, you need not to do any calculation. You can simply do in this way. अगर एक्सेल में करोगे तो कोई गलती होने के चांसेस नहीं है कैलकुलेशन. अगर आप यहाँ पे ये है कि वैल्यू चेंज करोगे तो
Friends,
अपने
as far as possible, please try to use Excel sheet during your day-to-day life also for providing the valuation, as well as during the examination also. It is very important. The Excel utilities are being added in your folder from today onwards. You may go through, and there is a specialized video placed on our website free of cost for how to use Excel sheet during your valuation practice. Yes, sir.
okay. Then after 50 years, he will be getting 6,30,000 per annum perpetually at 9%. For 50 years, you calculate it, it comes out to be 70 lakh, but it will be after 70 years. Oh, sorry, 50 years. You require it to as on today. For that, you have to defer it. So we defer it at 9%. The value comes out to be 91,000. जो 70 लाख रुपया आपको 50 साल के बाद मिलना है, आज की डेट में उसकी वैल्यू 91,000. वहां से टोटल आपकी वैल्यू 21,40,800 प्लस 91,000. So total value of the lessee is 22,31,800. Another thing you can add is you can find how you can use this 95 lakh. We have ignored here this 95 lakh, but how we can use this 95 lakh? What is its use?
Sir, I feel it is annuity due.
It is not annuity due. Basically, what will happen? This is premium paid, 95 lakh. So this 95 lakh will also give him certain interest, we can say.
Okay, sir.
If he deposits this amount, this will give you annual equivalent of interest. Basically हुआ क्या है कि 3 लाख वो क्यों ले रहा है कि मार्केट में रेंट 6,30,000 है, वो 3 लाख क्यों ले रहा है? क्योंकि उसको 95 लाख प्रीमियम मिल गया. अब इस 95 लाख से भी तो उसको कुछ इनकम होगी. वो इनकम आप कैसे निकाल सकते हो? How can you find that in?
So can't we just find the future value of 95 lakh?
So basically we have to find the income which will be generated from this 95 lakh. How can you calculate the net income?
Through income approach method, if I'm not wrong.
So income approach method formula will remain the same. Value is equals to YP into net income. Net income will be value divided by YP. Value divided by YP, वही फार्मूला तो वही रहेगा. अगर आपने उसको एनुअल इक्विवेलेंट को उस जो आपको हर साल रेंट आना है उसका नाम आपने एनुअल इक्विवेलेंट रख दिया. Okay, so you can find that value also if you think it proper. We have ignored it, but we can calculate that also. So what is the freehold value? अगर ये चीज उसने if it is free from lease, अगर लीज पे नहीं दी गई तो फिर वैल्यू क्या हो? अगर ये प्रॉपर्टी लीज पे नहीं दी गई, if it is free from lease, then what will be the value? अगर प्रॉपर्टी लीज पे नहीं दी गई तो फिर वैल्यू क्या हो?
Only the rack rent will be considered. The premium amount and the rent won't be considered.
Only the rack rent will be considered. Okay, so rack rent is
6,30,000.
6,30,000. Then YP will be, what will be the YP in this case?
YP perpetual.
So what will be that?
7.13.
So it will be 100 upon 14. Basically, 7.14. So you calculate that. It will be 45.
Sir, 14% is for leasehold property. For freehold property, it is 9%. So it may be 9%.
We may use 9%.
Sir, you told about the 95 lakh, no, sir. Can you please explain that again? What will be the...
So what this 95 lakh will do? So basically, your rent will remain approximately जो 3 लाख रेंट आ रहा है वो आ रहा है आपको क्योंकि आपको 95 लाख मिला है.
95 लाख भी तो वैल्यू होगी ना जी.
95 लाख की वैल्यू कैसे निकालोगे वही तो मैं पूछ रहा हूँ.
Sir, can we use that formula which is inverse of ICS formula?
See here, what we can do. See what this 95 lakh will do. Let us suppose he deposit this amount in the bank. He deposit this amount in the bank and the rate of interest is 9%. But let us suppose the rate of interest is 14%. Then what? See here, you have 95 lakh with you. आपको 95 lakh मिला. और 14% अगर रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट है तो कुछ तो इंटरेस्ट मिलेगा आपको. दैट इंटरेस्ट इज कॉल्ड एनुअल इक्विवेलेंट. दैट इंटरेस्ट इज कॉल्ड एनुअल इक्विवेलेंट. तो एनुअल इक्विवेलेंट बेसिकली आपके पास क्या होगा, एक इनकम ही होगी, एक तरह से नेट इनकम ही होगी. आपके पास फार्मूला क्या है, कैपिटलाइज्ड वैल्यू, दिस इज इक्वल्स टू नेट इनकम इनटू वाई. यही फार्मूला है. तो अगर हम इसको कंपेयर करें, इफ वी कंपेयर इट विद प्रीमियम इक्वल्स टू एनुअल इक्विवेलेंट इनटू वाई. दोनों सिमिलर हो गए. कंपेयर करो, चीज तो वही बन गई. सो प्रीमियम, यू हैव प्रीमियम ऑफ 95 lakh is equals to annual equivalent multiplied by YP, you know it is 7.1. So annual equivalent will be 95 so what is that value? 95 lakh divided by 7.14.
13,30,532.
हाँ जी,
13,30,532.
13 lakh
30,532. 0.121.
तो दिस इज जस्ट एन एग्जांपल. तो उसके लिए आपको रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट दिया नहीं गया है, इसलिए हम ये यूज कर रहे हैं. तो बेसिकली क्या होगा, आपका जो टोटल रेंट आ रहा है वो एक 3 लाख होगा, और एक जो रेंट आपको यहां से मिलेगा फॉर एग्जाम्पल. सो टोटल रेंट आपके पास क्या होगा, एनुअल इक्विवेलेंट प्लस 3 लाख.
So, but 95 lakhs is paid initially only, no? So then why are we finding the yearly, why are we finding the annual equivalent?
Madam, he has paid 95 lakh one time. Okay, so Mr. Manoj will, let us suppose he deposit it in the bank. So what he will be getting from the bank? He will be getting interest from the bank.
So we can directly use the formula 1 plus R per n minus 1 by R, no sir? S formula.
तो एस फार्मूला कब यूज करते हैं, जब हर साल आप पैसे जमा करवाते हो. आप यहाँ पे हर साल नहीं करवा रहे, यू आर डिपॉजिटिंग इट वंस. आपको एक बार 95 लाख मिला, आपने एक बार ही 95 लाख बैंक में जमा करवाना.
हम रेंट 3 लाख जो रेंट है उसकी भी प्रेजेंट वैल्यू निकाल रहे हैं, हर एक चीज की प्रेजेंट वैल्यू निकाल रहे हैं. तो 95 लाख तो ऑलरेडी प्रेजेंट वैल्यू.
95 लाख तो उसको प्रीमियम मिला है ना सर. बेसिकली क्या होगा कि यहाँ पे हम 7.14 ले रहे हैं, ये वैल्यू थोड़ी ज्यादा होगी अप्रोक्सीमेटली. जस्ट ए मिनट. बेसिकली क्या होगा कि इस 95 लाख की वैल्यू जो है, 95 लाख जो है वो वैल्यू नहीं है, 95 लाख उसको प्रीमियम मिला है। तो उसके लिए हम अगर देखें तो अगर हम मान ले कि रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट जो है वो 5% है, तो वाईपी आपका 20 आ जाएगा। तो आप अगर 95 लाख को 20 से डिवाइड करोगे it
5
will be
lakh.
approximately 4,75,000. Just an example. तो आपको टोटल रेंट कितना आ रहा है? 7,74 प्लस 3,30,000, सॉरी 3 लाख। तो एनुअल रेंट आपका 7,75,000। तो आप जो वैल्यू निकालोगे वो 7,75,000 से निकालो बेसिकली, अगर आप 95 लाख। क्लियर है कि टोटल रेंट जो आपको मिल रहा है, कुछ आपको जो प्रीमियम मिला उससे आ रहा है, कुछ आपने को जो रेंट एक्चुअल मिल रहा है वो है। देखिए ऐसे ही क्वेश्चन कल हमने किया था, क्वेश्चन हमने किया था कल। ठीक है, कल हमने क्वेश्चन किया था, मिस्टर Sanish has leased his building to Mr. Chaudhary for 21 years. Now the market rent for such building in the area is 4,000 per month. He has agreed to accept less rent if Mr. Chaudhary pay him a premium of 1,56,200. The expected rate of interest is 9.5% and the redemption rate is 3.5%. इसका थोड़ा उल्टा है क्वेश्चन। देखिए अब क्या है कि उसने प्रीमियम ले लिया 1,56,260, और जो रेंट था मार्केट में 4,000, वो लेस रेंट लेने के लिए एग्री हो गया कि 4,000 की बजाय मैं रेंट कम कर दूंगा, मेरे को 1,56,260 रुपए। अब क्या होगा कि उसको रेंट तो 4,000 ही चाहिए। अब क्या होगा कि कुछ रेंट उसको मिलेगा और बाकी का जो रेंट है वो इससे आ जाएगा। 1,56,260 से कुछ अमाउंट उसको हर साल इंटरेस्ट के रूप में मिलती रहे। पहले हम वो निकालेंगे कितनी। हमने क्या किया कि उसको 48,000 हर साल रेंट आना, 48,000 की बजाय हमने निकाल लिया एनुअल इक्विवेलेंट जो उसको प्रीमियम पे किया 1,56,260। हमने एनुअल इक्विवेलेंट फार्मूला प्रीमियम पेड अपॉन वाईपी हमने डिस्कस किया। तो रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट पता है, रिडम्पशन रेट पता है, वाईपी डुअल रेट निकाला हमने, वाईपी डुअल रेट आ गया 7.81। तो इसका मतलब क्या है, हमने एनुअल इक्विवेलेंट निकाला कि 20,000 रुपया उसको, जो 1,56,260 मिला है, उससे उसको 20,000 रुपया बैंक से मिलना शुरू हो गया। बैंक से उसको 20,000 मिलना शुरू हो गया। उसको टोटल कितना चाहिए था? टोटल कितना चाहिए था? 48,000। तो बाकी वो कितना मांगेगा उससे? प्रीमियम देने का मतलब क्या है कि प्रीमियम का मतलब है कि रेंट जो है वो रिड्यूस हो गया। वो कितना मांगेगा? 48,000 टोटल लेना था, 20,000 उसको एनुअल इक्विवेलेंट से आना शुरू हो गया, तो बाकी वो 28,000 मांगेगा साल में। अगर उसको मंथली निकाले तो 2,333 रुपए उसको हर साल, हर महीने दे। इसका मतलब क्या होगा कि टोटल तो उसको 4,000 ही चाहिए। 4,000 में से 2,333 वो बाई हैंड दे देगा, 1,666 रुपए उसको इंटरेस्ट से बैंक दे देगा। तो सनीश को तो पूरे के पूरे 4,000 ही मिल रहा है।
Sir, repeat, English is better, sir.
हाँ जी।
Words I cannot identify. Some words in Hindi I cannot understand, so speak in English, sir.
See here,
Okay, okay.
what Mr. Sanish require? How much rent did he require? 48,000. Okay. He has got 1,56,260 as premium. From this 1,56,260, he will be getting how much amount if he deposit this amount in the bank, 1,56,260 in the bank. Bank will give him an interest of 20,000. That is annual equivalent. How we find that annual equivalent? We divide this 1,56,000 to, this is the formula, annual equivalent is premium paid divided by YP. YP is 7.813. So annual equivalent comes out to be 20,000. So total he require 40,000, out of which he will be getting 20,000, let us suppose, from the bank in the form of interest by depositing this amount of 1,56,260 in the bank. For example, let us, he may use it anywhere. Let us suppose he deposited in the bank, and bank is giving 20,000 as interest every year. So how much amount will he require from Mr. Sanish? Will require from the tenant. He will require balance 28. So total he required 48, out of which he is getting 20 from the banks. He will be getting 28 from the, in the form of actual rent. So it means rent per month will be 28,000 divided by 12, 2,333. He will get in the form of rent, and 1,666 in the form of interest from the bank. So total will remain 4,800. Is it clear now? Any doubt? So what is the purpose of premium? The purpose of premium is to reduce the rent. But it doesn't mean that rent will be reduced. Actually, the owner will get some amount in the form of annual equivalent, so that actual rent he is receiving will remain at least same, if not more than that. It should remain 48,000 if it is not more than that. That is the purpose of premium. Is it clear? Any doubt? कोई डाउट है दोबारा पूछ लीजिए. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Soumya, it is clear. So any other person having any doubt?
Yes, sir.
So you must be clear in your mind what is the purpose of paying premium.
Sir, I understood this part, sir. But when we were calculating sinking fund, the formula for IC, we had a lump sum value. We were using IC and finding out what monthly amount we have to invest to get that accumulated amount, correct? So can't we use that same logic here as well? Just a small doubt.
Here, madam, here. In sinking fund, what is your purpose? What is your purpose? Here we are not depositing, here we are basically see the difference. Here we are getting. One thing is, second difference is sinking fund is accumulated for getting. Let us suppose you need 60 lakh. When you are depositing sinking fund, so there are two things involved. One is you are depositing some amount every year. And second thing is you are getting certain interest over that, over the amount which you have already deposited in the bank. So two things are involved there. One, the amount which you are depositing as a sinking fund, and the second thing which the bank is giving you as an interest. But here, only thing is you are getting interest from the bank. You have deposited 95 lakh in the bank for once, and you are getting only interest. In sinking fund, you are depositing, there are two terms involved. One, the amount which you are depositing in the bank, and the second, which the interest which you are getting.
It's clear, sir. It's clear. Thank you.
So that is the difference.
Sir, in sinking fund, redemption rate is 3 to 4%, and the accumulated amount is kept in bank. So the corpus of sinking fund will be more than the required.
So basically, if we assume it will remain the same. That is how the formula has been derived. Basically, from an engineering point of view, sinking fund is the amount of sinking fund is not correct. Let us suppose you have constructed a building today by investing an amount of 60 lakh. Now, in sinking fund, it is assumed that after 60 years, after the end of the life of the building, this 60 lakh construction cost will remain 60 lakh after 60 years. That is not true. That may become 1 crore 60 lakh after 60 years. So basically, these are all accounting methods. In accounting, in our engineering, we know 1 plus 1 is 2. But in accounting, sometimes it is 1 plus 1 is 2 and 1 plus 1 is 11 also. These accounting procedures are as per their account or their methods. Otherwise, we never use. See here in depreciation, you have seen that with all the three methods, you are getting different results. But in engineering, you will never get different. So that is where the problem is. There are certain things which are beyond our scope as an engineer. Most accountants are right and in their own way. We cannot comment upon their procedure. So these are all basically accounting methods. Sinking fund method, years purchase method. So what I have tried to use the formula and by using Excel sheet so that you are able to calculate without remembering the formula. So I think doubt is clear.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sir, for getting the annual income, sir, from the premium,
Ji.
can we not use simple interest formula, sir? It will be useful.
Which formula, sir?
Simple interest like PTR by 100.
Sir, how you can use that? Here, interest is also involved, sir.
Okay.
You will be getting interest over 95 lakh also.
And that's all, sir. For 95 lakhs, if you have to get the annual income, can you not use that simple interest formula?
You cannot use that formula, sir.
Okay.
So basically, see this question. Now see another thing. This is 20,000 you have got.
Okay.
Okay. Now let us suppose net income is 20,000. Okay. Let us suppose net income is 20,000.
Okay.
And what is YP?
100 divided by
7.813.
Yeah.
Is it clear? So what
Okay.
should be the capitalized value?
Okay. 20,000 into 7.813.
What is that value?
Just a minute. It is 15 lakhs. Sir, 1,56,000 to 260.
Yeah.
1,56,260. Yes. Okay. Okay, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Any other doubt?
Sir, there is one doubt regarding yesterday's example of uh, capital gain tax. This purchase of new house within 3 hours, 2 hours. This condition is for two houses or more than two properties, two houses.
So we will discuss after this case study is over. We will discuss that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So next example, Mr. Bedi has given his property on rent. He is getting a rent of 25 rupees per square feet per month in 2023. Every year the rent is increased by 10%. The depreciated value of the building becomes zero after 20 years. He has approached a value for the present value of the property as on date. The valuer collected the data of similar properties in the vicinity of the building and assumed the adjustments as follows. Adjustment in rental value 1% per rupees 1 difference in the for rental value, and increase in rental value 1% per every 1% increase in the rental value. The comparable three property rentals details are as follows. Subject property is getting rent of rupees 25 per square feet per month. He has surveyed in the area and has got this data that property 1, it is getting rupees 26 rupees per square feet per month. Second property is getting 27 rupees per square feet. And the third property is getting rupees 35 per square feet per month. And increment, here it is 10% per year. In fact, first property is increment is 4% per year. For the second property, it is 3%, 9%, sorry, per 3 years. That is a 3% every year. And third property is 3.5% every year. And maintenance cost for 3.5% in cost escalation every year. It is also 3.5%. It is also 3.5%. It is also 3.5. This is the data given. You have to calculate which property will have the highest net present value. Here, existing, it is 25, 26, 37, 35. This is the data which is given to you. Then it has given adjustment in rental value. Rupees 1% for rupees 1 difference for rental value. See how it is to be implemented. See here, difference in rental value is 26 minus 5, 25, 1 rupees. For rupees 1, adjustment is 1%. Second property 27, 27 minus 25, adjustment is 2%. 35 minus 25, adjustment is 10%. This is adjustment in rental value. So adjustment, similarly, increase in rental values. Here it is 4%, it is 10%, it means minus 6%. So adjustment will be minus 6%. Similarly, difference, here it is 3% per year, 9% of per 3 year, it means 3% per year, minus 10%, minus 7%. Here it is 3.5% per year, it is 10% per year, minus 6.5%. So total overall adjustment will be minus 6 plus 1, 5%, minus 7 plus 2, minus 5%, and in this case it is 10%, minus 6.5, 3.5%. So rental value will be so if you calculate it, it is 25% per square feet per month. If you calculate annually, it is 300 rupees per month. It is sorry, per annual, it is 320, 12, 324, and 420. So adjusted value will be minus 5% means 95% means 296.4. Minus 5% means 95% means 296.4. And the third one, 420 into 1.035, 434.7. So The property which will be having highest rent per square feet per annum, that will having the maximum value. So the property 3 will have highest net present value. So next thing, the value of the subject property will become 0 after 20 years. So factor of adjustment is 3.5% higher in the property 3. So since adjustment of rent is the property 3, it will have the highest capitalized value.
Excuse me, sir.
Hmm.
The one of the case study can be explained in the Excel format in the next class next week.
Which case study you do?
Any case study, sir. So that we working people may adjust our time little means more usefully. If
So
it
I
is-
will give you a
Sir, during last weeks, we have sent few videos, tutorials in your group. Have you seen all these videos?
Yes, sir. I regret to say that because of the time.
There was a video named "How to Use Excel Sheet."
Okay, sir. I'll
All
go
the
through.
case studies are being solved by using the Excel sheet in that, and it is also provided the key points of the Excel sheet as well as how to use the Excel sheet by using the inbuilt
Okay,
features
sir.
of the Excel sheet, as well as step-by-step calculation of each and every case study is provided there.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much,
Please
sir.
go through it. If you are having any problem,
Sure, sir.
we will
Sure,
solve
sir.
in the
Sure,
next
sir.
lecture.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you.
moving next. In a plot of 16320 square feet of land, Mr. Sachin and developer Mr. Sushil intended to construct an apartment through joint venture. The total built-up area is 32,640 square feet. There will be total 20 flats. Each flat will have a built-up area of 1632 square feet. The prevailing market rate for land in the area is 12,000 per square feet, and the cost of construction is 2,800 per square feet. Assume the promoter's profit as 20%. What is a floor space index? What is FSI?
Built up area on all floors divided by plot area.
So built up area is
2. FSI 2.
So it is 2. FSI is 2. So what is the undivided share of land for each flat?
Flat built up area divided by FSI.
So flat built up area is, and FSI is 2. It means 816 square. What is composite rate of the flat? Composite rate means per square feet rate, or you can calculate the, see here, you have a flat of 1632 square feet. Cost of construction is
2,800.
17,760.
2,800. So this will be 1 to 40, 45 lakh 69,600. This will be cost of construction, and cost of land will be for 1632 square feet of land. How much land do you require?
816.
So 816. So for 816, you calculate the land component, that comes out to be 97 lakh 92,000. So the total value will be 97 lakh 92,000 plus 45 lakh 69,600, 1 crore 43 lakh 61,600. And then profits, they require a profit of 20%. So total selling price will be 20% more than 1 crore 43 lakh 61,600. It will be 1.2 times. So it will be total will be 1 crore 72 lakh 33,920. So composite rate will be sale price divided by saleable area, that is 10,500 per square feet. So what is the selling price of each flat? We have already calculated. What is the joint venture ratio for mortgage to landlord? So land component 97 lakh 92,000. Building component for the flat is 45 lakh 69,600. So here you have to calculate what are their input. Basically, how much they have invested basically. So landlord has invested 97 lakh 92,000 and the builder or the investor has invested 45 lakh 79,000. So landlord's share is 68% out of 1 crore 43 lakh 69,600. So and developer's share is 52%. So we generally, if we ask joint venture ratio, you will write it as developer's share is to landlord's share. We write it as 32 is to 68, not as 68 is to 32. This thing you have to remember. Developer's share will be written first and then landlord's share. And then whether there is any impact on the guideline while fixing the composite rate and joint venture ratio. No, guideline rate has no impact on fixing the rate for joint venture.
Sir, in practice, what is the maximum JV ratio
So it will depend upon
observed in Delhi or most developed areas?
So it will depend upon the rate. If the rate of land is very high, if you know, in case of NCR, land rates are quite higher. And in suburban areas or in small cities, developer's share will be more than the landlord's share. And in developed area and NCR, landlord's share is maybe higher. So there is no fixed percentage.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Okay.
Can I presume that the ratio will depend on the land cost and versus the cost of construction?
Of course, that will depend upon the land cost and cost of.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you.
So basically, what happens is that once they construct the apartments, they divide their number of apartments as per their share. Generally, what they are doing, let us suppose they have constructed 100 apartments, out of which 68 apartments will be found under the share of landlord and 32 will be under the share of developer. while calculating capital gain or other things. जब आप कैलकुलेट करोगे कैपिटल गेन तो उस केस में ऐसा ही किया जाता है। कई बार अगर आपने किसी अपार्टमेंट के लिए कैपिटल गेन कैलकुलेशन करना है तो इस तरीके से करो। फिर उसमें आप जो कॉस्ट ऑफ कंस्ट्रक्शन है वो डिडक्ट कर दोगे अगर लैंडलॉर्ड के लिए कर रहे हो क्योंकि उसने तो सिर्फ लैंड ही दी है। जो 68% फ्लैट्स के अंदर जो लैंड आएगी उस शेयर के लिए वो कैपिटल गेन देगा। और अगर आप दूसरे के लिए कर रहे हैं तो सिर्फ कॉस्ट ऑफ कंस्ट्रक्शन ही ले लो क्योंकि लैंड तो उसकी है ही नहीं, लैंड तो किसी और ने दी। इस तरीके से कैलकुलेट किया जाए। ठीक है संदीप जी, वी मे हैव ए शॉर्ट टी ब्रेक। Up till now, if you have any doubt, you can ask.
Yes, sir.
Please.
If in case of landlord and promoter comes to a valuer to justify their understanding regarding the joint venture ratio, if that is the case, how means number of steps to be followed by the valuer to make his valuation in the perfect manner?
So that is you must know the cost of land and you must know the cost of construction and you must know floor space index. These three things you need. You calculate it for 1 square feet. From there you can calculate their share.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Any other doubt? Any other doubt? कोई और doubt है तो? Sandeep ji, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Can we have a short tea break of?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can take a short tea break of, let it be, sir, how much duration, sir?
15 to 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay. So friends, it is 11:20 now. We will take a short tea break of 20 minutes. We will rejoin sharp at 11:40. Till then, you can switch off your screens.
Yes, sir.
And very warm welcome to all the participants. So now we will be continuing with the case studies which we have been doing since morning. So next is how you can calculate the value of a going concern. Many times as a value you have to do the valuation of the going concern. So we will be doing a method in which you can do the valuation of a going concern. The details of an industrial property are as follows. Market value of land and building is 2 crore. Replacement cost of machinery, etc., less depreciated, means depreciated value of the plants and machinery, it is 60 lakh. Working capital is 40 lakh. And expected annual profit is 24 lakh. So first you should know what is going concern. Basically, as a layman, going concern is that which is still in production, is still going on, and the unit is producing sufficient profit, and it is expected to produce sufficient profit continuously for a number of years to come. That we call it as a going concern, as a layman's language, may be different from accounting point of view. So if the reasonably expected rate of return in our question, it is given that 12%, find out the value of the property as a going concern. And if the expected annual profit in the last problem above is 39 lakh, calculate the value of the property as a going concern. So see here, in the question he has asked that expected rate of return is 12% and expected annual profit is 24 lakh. First, we will check whether with this profit of 24 lakh and with this available data, whether it is possible to achieve a target of 12% or not. And if it is able to achieve, then it is okay. If it is not, then how to proceed in that case? So value of a going concern, this is the data which is given to you. Market value of the land and building is 2 crore. Replacement cost of machinery, etc. is given to you as 60 lakh. Working capital is 40 lakh. So total is, see here, total investment is 3 lakh crore. And if the profit is 24 lakh, we will check how much profit it will generate from this 3 crore. So the return from the business, if it is 24 lakh as it is given in the question, 24 lakh divided by 3 multiplied by 100, so it is 8%. So return, if it is expected profit is 24 lakh, return is 8%, it is not 12%. So we have to change these values so that the profit becomes 12%. For that, what we do? We will reduce these values by using a factor 8 by 12. Because we are getting 8% return instead of 12%, we will be using a factor of 8 by 12 to reduce these values. So see here how it will be done. Reduced ceiling figure, it will be 8 by 12 multiplied by 3 crore. So instead of 3 crore as a value of all the assets, we will consider it to be equals to 2 crore. By multiply 3 crore with a factor that is 8 by 12. That is called ceiling figure. So now the reduced ceiling figure, instead of 3 crore, it will be 2 crore. So working capital, you know, it is 40 lakh. It means going concern value is 2 lakh minus 1 40 lakh. So value of the going concern in this case is 1 crore 60. And C, with the reduced figure of 2 crore, 2 crore divided 24 lakh divided by 2 crore, the return is 12%. So instead of otherwise the value would have been 2 crore 60 lakh, but now the value of the going concern from the given data, you have to deduct the value of working capital. So because this is the amount which the owner has invested, so the value of the going concern will be 1 crore 60 lakh. Is it clear? So now see here another thing. So we will see that value is directly related with the expected profit. In this case, this method is based upon that value of the going concern is directly proportional to the expected return as well as it is related with the expected profit. Now, when the profit was expected profit was 24 lakh, the value comes out to be 1 crore 60 lakh. Now see, in the second part, he is asked if the expected annual profit in the last problem, instead of 24 lakh, it is 39 lakh. Instead of calculate the value as a going concern. Now see what will happen in this case. Ceiling figure will remain 3 crore. Expected profit is 39 lakh. Return from the business 39 lakh divided by 3 crore, it is 30%. So it is higher than the expectation, which is 12%. So here we do not need to reduce the ceiling figure. So the value will be 3 crore minus working capital, the value will be 2 crore 60 lakh. So this is one method. This is basically method based upon certain accounting procedures based upon expected profit and expected return. So you can calculate these values. So the next question is, work out the encumbrance factor and the value of usable FSI from the following particulars of the property. Land area is 533 square meter. Total built-up area is 205 square meter. FSI permissible is 1. Rate of construction is 25,000 per square meter. Estimated rate of land is 12,000 per square meter. Expected yield on investment is 9%. Usable carpet area is 110 square meter. Prevailing rent on carpet area basis excluding local taxes is rupees 310 per square meter per month. This is the data given to you. You have to find encumbrance factor. Please read down once again. Okay, see. Here the total built up area is 205 square meter, which is given to you. So we have to find out the value of useful FSI and encumbrance factor from the data. In the first case, from the data, we will calculate the value of FSI first. See case 1. Yield is worked out from the investment point of view. So cost of construction, 205 square meter, cost of construction is 25,000 per square meter. Cost of construction is 51,25,000. Then cost of FSI utilized. So because FSI is 1, so you have used 205. Let us suppose you have used only 205 square meter of land, and the remaining land is not utilized. So cost of FSI utilized 205 into cost of land is 12,000 per square meter. It is 24,60,000. And total cost comes out to be 51,25,000 plus 24,60,000. Total cost is 75,85,000. And let us suppose yield rate is 9%. So the yield at 9% investment will be 9% of 75,85,000. It is approximately 6,83,000. If you calculate it from the investment point of view, but if you calculate it from a rental point of view, which is also given to you the data, here we will assume that FSI 200 square meter has been utilized and constructing the structure or fully exploiting the yield on the maximum return of investment. So estimate annual yield will be, see here, rent is given to you rupees 310 per square meter per month. It is based upon carpet area. Remember, see in the question, it is given on the carpet area. So you have to use the carpet area, not the built up area. So here we will be using 110 instead of 205. And rent is 310. So you multiply 310 into 110 into 12, rent into carpet area into number of months. This is the estimated annual yield from the rental point of view. And of course, there will be certain, if it is given on rent, there will be certain outgoings. So we assume that the outgoings are 1/6 of the total income, which is 4,900,000. So annual yield is, so total outgoings are 68,200. So net annual yield is 3,41,000. So see here, from investment point of view, he has invested 6,83,000. And he will be getting from the rent 3,41,000. So encumbrance factor, it is 3,41,000 divided by his investment. So it is approximately 0.5 or 50%, we can say. So it is the ratio of return to the investment. Encumbrance factor is ratio of return to the investment. And out of which, see here, 205 square meter has been utilized, let us suppose out of 533. It means remaining 328 square meter is still, it can be used. And again, value of that FSI will be 19,60,000. 0.5 into 12,000 because encumbrance factor is 0.5. Multiplied by 12,000 multiplied by 325, which is the remaining area. So the value is of usable FSI is 19,60,000, which you can further use. So based upon this, you have to answer certain question. What is the cost of FSI utilized? What is the yield? So you this question based upon the calculations which you have done. So next is a building stands on a freehold plot of land measuring 650 square meter. The rate of land is rupees 3,000 per square meter. The owner gets a gross rent of 20,000 per month from the building. The estimated future life of the building is 15 years. But it is expected to extend by another 16 years if the structural and other repairs costing 1,20,000 are immediately carried out. The total amount of outgoings is equal to 20% of the gross rent. Find out whether it will be advisable to spend the above cost of repairs from an investment point of view. Assume the rate of return is 7% on capital and 4.5% for redemption. So we will check the value. We will find the value. First, we will assume that no repairs are carried out. And then we will assume that the certain repairs as suggested in the question, they are carried out. And then what is the difference? Okay. So first you will find the value. Let us suppose we do not carry out any repairs. So then in that case, gross rent is 20,000 and it will be for 15 years. See here, gross rent is 20,000 per month, means per annum it will be 2,40,000. Amount of outgoings is given to you as 20%. 20% of 2,40,000 is 48,000. So net rent is 1,92,000. And cost of land is also given to you as data is given to you. So without repair, cost of land is 650 into 3,000 square meter plot. It is 90,50,000. So this is given to you 7% on capital and 4.5% on redemption. You calculate YP dual rate. YP dual rate comes out to be 8.47. You can find out it easily. You know the formula for YP dual rate. It is 1 upon R plus IC. Okay. So the capitalized value of 1,92,000 is 1,92,000 into 8.47. It is 16,26,240. And then after 15 years, when this building will its life will be over. We assume the salvage value to be equals to 0. The owner will get back land. The value of the land will be 19,50,000 after 15 years. So we require its value as on today. So we get its deferred value at 3%. Value is 0.64 present value factor. So the value of 19,50,000, which after 15 years, its present value is 12,48,000. So the total value, if no repairs are carried out, 19,50,000 plus 16,26,240. The total value is 28,74,000. So this is if we do not carry out the repairs. Now let us suppose repairs are carried out with repairs. So if the repairs are carried out, for life of the building, instead of 15 years, you will be getting rent for 31 years. See here in the question, it is given that its life will be extended by another 16 years. If the structural and other repairs are carried out immediately. So life, instead of 15 years, it will become 31 years. So you will be calculating YP for 31 years instead of 15 years. So YP for 13 years, it will be changed to 11.7. So rent will remain the same, 1,90,000 for 31 years. Capitalized value will be 11.70 into 1,92,000, 22,46,400. And now the value of the land you have to calculate after 31 years. You have to calculate the present value of the land after 31 years. You defer it. Let us suppose we defer it at 3%. The factor which was 0.64, now it becomes 0.40. So the value of 90,50,000 becomes 7,80,000. So the total value means reversion value of land plus capitalized value of the structure. Total value is 30,26,400. The difference is 36,26,400, and with repair, without repair, it is 8,74,160. The difference is 1,52,160. So even if you spend 1,20,000, you will be having a profit of 32,000 approximately. So it will be viable to invest or carry out the repairs. Is it clear? Any doubt about it, this question? So many times you may get these type of questions. May not you get such question in examination, but in practical cases you may find such situations. You may have to face such situations.
Yes, sir. It is a practical case. I want to do it as a case study for my own flat, sir. Thank you very much for your guidance.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So based upon these calculations, you can answer a certain question. So these are certain questions which are equally important from examination point of view and as well as from practical point of view. We are now taking that case studies which are important from both points. And as a valuer, you must have knowledge of not only of the methods which are given in the IBBI syllabus, you need to learn many other things which are not given there. Many times questions are The syllabus is just for reference only. You may get many questions which are not directly related with the syllabus, but as a valuer you should know. So next question is, the area of an open land is 40 meter by 30 meter. An area of 200 square meter is to be acquired by the local authority for road widening, and the owner is to be given compensation of rupees 10 crore by the 10 lakh by the local authority within a period of 3 years. The present rate of interest for secured amount is 8%. The open land is occupied by unauthorized persons. The land rates of independent unencumbered open land is 10,000 per square meter. Prevailing rate, market rate of unencumbered land is 9,800. For the portion occupied by unauthorized persons, high deferment rate of 12% may be adopted. Due to legal entangles, it may take 10 years to vacate the land from the unauthorized person. Had the property not under unauthorized occupation, how much more owner might have gained? Please read the question once again. Please have a look at the question. So many times you may have made a site visit and seen some certain unauthorized occupations at site. Then how to deal with that? So this is just an example, not an actual case. So see how we can proceed in such cases. The amount of compensation is 10 lakh, but it is to be given within 3 years. So let us suppose with that it will be given at the end of 3rd year. So we will find the present value of this 10 lakh as on today. So we defer it as 8% for 3 years. Present value factor is 0.79. So the value of the portion is 7,90,000. See here. Total land area is 40 meter by 30 meter, out of which 200 square meter is to be acquired. So this is a value of 200 square meter, which he will get in the form of compensation. So now we need to find the value of remaining 1,000 square, which is under unauthorized occupation. So value of this portion, we have calculated that remaining land is 1,000 square meter. So it is given that the prevailing market rate of unencumbered land is 9,600. So value of unauthorizedly occupied land becomes 9,60,000. This is value as on today. But what is given to you? That it may then takes 10 years to vacate the land. So he will be able to get this 9,60,000. We assume it that it will take at least 10 years as given in the question. So we will defer it at 12% for 10 years. So value of this 9,60,000 will defer it. The value of present value becomes 0.322. So the present value becomes 3,09,000. So the total value of the property is 7,90,000 plus 3,09,120, 10,99,120. So this is the total value if it is unauthorizedly occupied, as given in the question. But if it is not unauthorizedly occupied, then he will get full amount as on today. That is 17 lakh 50. So the owner might have gained 70 lakh 50,000 minus 10 lakh 90,000, approximately 6 lakh 50,000. This much amount the owner might have gained if the property was not unauthorizedly occupied. So this is how, if you are doing valuation of a property which is under unauthorized occupation or having a legal entangle, and if you are not doing valuation for banking purpose, you can do valuation for certain other purposes, such as for sale purpose or for purchase purpose, etc. बैंक के लिए आपने इसकी वैल्यूएशन नहीं करनी जिसमें लीगल एंटेंगल हो, लेकिन अगर आप सेल के लिए परचेज के लिए कर सकते हो तो ये मेथड आप अडॉप्ट कर सकते हो. Otherwise you may get such type of question in the IBBI exam. क्लियर? कोई डाउट है तो based upon these calculations, you can answer the various questions that may be asked in the examination. The next question is, a freehold property having an area of 500 square meter is leased for a period of 50 years and a period of 15 years has already elapsed. The annual ground rent agreed in the lease document is 1,85,100. The collection and management charges may be assumed to be 5,100. The rate of interest for capital is 8% and for redemption is 5% during this period. The lessee have put up some temporary structures over the land. It is mentioned in the lease deed that at the expiry of lease period, the term of lease will further be extended for a period of 10 years at the option of the lessee. The rate of interest in the capital is 9% and the redemption rate is 5% during this period. Then at the end of such document has to be prepared, but the lease rent will remain the same. For this period, the rate may be assumed as 10%. So based upon these this data which is given to you, you have to answer certain questions. So please read this question once again. That type of questions are equally important from examination as well as from practical point of view. Clear. How to proceed in these cases? Lease period is 50 years. How much time has elapsed?
15,
So what is unexpired?
35 years.
So it is 35 years. So for the 35 years, he will be receiving an amount of rupees 1,81,500, out of which 5,100 is to be deducted for collection, management charges, or whatever. So for see in the question, the income from the property may be divided into three stages. For the unexpired lease period of 35 years, then for the next 10 years, and then for the remaining period in perpetuity, as per the question. So you may get such type of lease deed in your practical life also. These are especially in national capital region or in southern cities, such type of lease are there. In Punjab or in northern state, generally we are having freehold property most of the cases. See here, from the question you can well understand this fact. इसमें कोई doubt है तो पूछ. So once this thing is clear to you, you can calculate. Rent is given to you, percentages are given to you. You can just apply the formula and get the value. Once this thing is clear to you. For YP, so which YP you will be using for this period?
Dual rate.
YP dual rate will be using. The data is given to you. You calculate the YP dual rate for 35 years. You has 8% and 5%. And then what for this purpose? इस केस में क्या करोगे अगले 10 साल के लिए? इसके लिए YP कैसे कैलकुलेट करोगे?
Single YP.
फिर हमें डाटा जो है वो डुअल रेट के लिए दिया गया, YP डुअल रेट ही कैलकुलेट करेंगे, लेकिन कितने साल के लिए कैलकुलेट करो? कितने साल के लिए कैलकुलेट करोगे YP?
10 years, sir. Next 10.
10 years.
उसका क्या फॉर्मूला है कोई आपके पास? हम सिंपल इसको समझे, हम क्या करेंगे? वी विल फाइंड इट फॉर 45 years. We will find it for 45 years, out of which we have already used for 35 years. So we will calculate from 45 years and 35 years. We calculate for 45 years, it is 10.39. For 35 years, it is 9.89. From the YP for this period will be 45 years minus 35 years. Clear? Similarly, we will calculate perpetuity from that we will deduct YP for 45 years. Because we have already calculated for YP 45 years, we have already done the calculation. So the third period YP of a reversion to the perpetuity after 45 years, it will be YP single rate at for 45 years is 9.86. YP reversion will be YP 10 minus 9.86. YP will be 0.14. So the value in the third portion. So, but it says that the rent will remain the same. So net, you can calculate the net rent, which is 1,81,500 minus 5,100. Net rent is rupees 1,80,000. Clear? Any doubt in this question? And the third period, data for only single rate is given. So that is why you have to use YP single rate. For the first two period, you have been given data for dual rate, 8%, 5%, and 9%, 5%. And the third new rate is 10% only. That is why we are using single rate at YP. Any doubt in this question? Any doubt? Anyone having any doubt? Clear? So based upon the calculations, you can answer the various questions that need not to be discussed. Next is, a retail trader is anxious to open a branch in a first-class location of the town. He gets two offers, either of which would be reasonably suitable for him. Please read this question so that we can.
आवाज नहीं आ रही सर अभी। हेलो, अजी आवाज नहीं आ रही।
सर ऑडियो बंद है जी, नो ऑडियो।
Please wait, there might be some internet connectivity problem at Rajinder sir end. He will be joining within few minutes. Till then, please read the question carefully once again and note down the given data and try to solve the problem and try to find out the solution and find out the way to solve this problem.
Sorry, there was certain problem with internet. तो साउंड नहीं आ रही थी, उसके लिए प्रॉब्लम थी.
Yes. A retail trader is anxious to open up a branch in a first-class location of the town. He gets two offers, either of which would be reasonably suitable for his purchase, and in either case, he would be required to enter into a lease agreement for 21 years. देखिए, अभी during the practical life also, as well as in examination, during the practical life also, you may encounter this type of problem that some client may contact you that there are two options for me. Which option is better, suitable and economical and for future earnings and future perspectives? Proposal, he may provide you the proposal and you have to provide the best option out of these two. The proposals are as follows. Number one, the rent of a shop A is rupees 1,80,000 per annum, but he will be required to pay premium of rupees 6 lakhs at the start of the lease and has to spend additional 2.5 times of the first year rent for changing the front appearance of the shop. एक shop है, उसको लेने के लिए उसको 1,80,000 पर एनम उसको रेंट देना है. उसके बाद उसके अलावा उसको 6 lakhs प्रीमियम देना है at the start of the lease और 2.5 times फर्स्ट ईयर का जितना रेंट होगा उसका उसको अपलिफ्टमेंट या रेनोवेशन के लिए, अपीयरेंस के लिए उसको खर्च करना है. सेकेंड ऑप्शन है उसके पास, द रेंट ऑफ द शॉप बी इज 3,60,000 पर एनम रिक्वायरिंग नो प्रीमियम एंड नो एडिशनल एक्सपेंसेस. अब देखिए, दो ऑप्शन है. अगर आपके पास भी दो ऑप्शन हो तो आप इन दोनों में से कौन सा चूज करेंगे? that is a valuer's duty to be to give the opinion. देखिए, अभी से वो ट्रेडिशनल लैंड एंड बिल्डिंग या बैंक का वैल्यूएशन या लटरम पटरम सब खत्म हो गया. अभी आपसे एज अ वैल्यूअर एक्सपेक्ट किया जा रहा है कि आप एक एज अ फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर, एज अ रियल एस्टेट एडवाइजर, एज अ इन्वेस्टमेंट एडवाइजर आप एक क्लाइंट की हेल्प करें. और इस तरह की क्लाइंटेज सभी सिटीज में होने लगे. इवन इन माई सिटी, इट इज अ वेरी स्मॉल सिटी, I am encountering weekly one or two clients of this type कि ऐसा मुझे ऑप्शन मिल रहा है, वहां पर इतना रेंट मिल रहा है, वहां पर इतना मुझे इन्वेस्टमेंट करना पड़ रहा है, वहां पर अनबिल्ड प्रॉपर्टी है, वहां पर बिल्डिंग बनी हुई है, तो दोनों में से कहां पर कौन सा मैं परचेज करूं? तो एज अ वैल्यूअर यू मस्ट नो एंड यू मस्ट नो हाउ टू प्रोवाइड and how to give the answers and justification on paper, not only on verbal satisfaction but on paper also. Yes sir, please continue.
See here, how we will proceed. So we will check which of the two options will be better. For the first proposal, see, the rent is 1,80,000 per month, but he has to spend. First, he has to give a premium of 6 lakh, and second, he has to spend an amount of 2.5 lakh times the first year's rent on renovation. See, premium to be paid is 6 lakh and expenditures to be incurred is 2.5 times of 1,80,000 means 4,50,000. So total capital he has to invest is 10,50,000. So it is given to you as he is getting in the question 21 years is lease 8% and 5% rates are given. YP becomes 8.85. So the annual equivalent of the capital मीन्स इन दोनों के ये अगर वो कितना खर्चा हर महीने उसको करना पड़ेगा, एक तरह से हमने निकाला एनुअल इक्विवेलेंट एनुअल रेंट वी कैन से of 10,50,000 at YP 8.85, it's 1,18,640. So total rent he will be having rent to be paid plus 1,18,644. He has to pay a rent of 1,80,000 plus 1,18,644 per every year, which he has to spend on renovation and other things. So the total virtual rent is 2,98,640. And in the second case, the rent is 3,60,000. So hence it will be desirable for him to prefer shop A. So you can calculate the virtual rent in this way also. What you need to do, you can simply do in this way. Yeah. अगर इसको देखेंगे क्वेश्चन से ऐसा लगता है कि बी वाला ठीक रहेगा क्योंकि इतना खर्चा करना है, लेकिन फिर भी if you do the calculation in a proper way, you will see that the shop A is more viable for him. The owner of a freehold property granted the property on lease for 5 years ago for a term of 40 years. The rent of the property was fixed at rupees 6,000 per month when the lease was granted. The property was in good condition and it was agreed that the tenant will have to bear all the outgoings in connection with the property, but the owner has agreed for the following. After 10 years of the lease, owner will provide a fire resisting stair instead of existing wooden stair that would cost the owner rupees 50,000. After 5 years, the above modification, the owner will replace the existing wire fencing by a brick compound wall. This will cost the owner 1,75,000. Find out the value of the freehold property from this data, assuming that the repairs mentioned are above are necessary for maintaining the present rent, and no higher rent may be expected at the end of lease period. So rate of interest for the capital is 9% and the reversion rate may be assumed to be 3%. So how will you do this question?
Sir, I think it will be suitable for a YP reversion to perpetual.
See here, what is the unexpired lease period?
35 years.
35.
What is the expected rent?
6,000 per month.
So annual rent will be
72,000.
72,000 annually.
so for 35 years. If it is 35 years and data is given to you rate of interest capital is 9% and reversion rate may be assumed to 3%.
We
So-
find YP dual and find the present value of the rent.
See in the question. This is not redemption rate. This is reversion rate. For deferment, you may use 3%. So please read the question. There is difference between redemption and reversion. So many times we confuse these two terms. Okay, clear? So we will be using YP single rate for 9%, 35 years. So you calculate YP. This is a net rent per year. YP reversion, YP single rate. You need not to calculate. You can simply do in Excel format also. You need not to calculate that the value comes out to be 8,38,000. So now out of this, we will deduct the cost of present cost of what is to be spent. Question को ध्यान से पढ़िए. Please read the question. So first we will find the capitalized value of the property. Then out of that we will deduct the cost of present cost of repairs. So present cost of this 50,000. How will you calculate the present cost of this 50,000? How will you calculate the present cost of this 50,000? What can you do? Which formula you will be using?
Present value.
We will be finding its present value. What is the formula for that?
We will do in Excel. Or 1 upon 1 minus 1 plus R raised to N.
30.
With the reversion rate of interest.
It is 1 over 1 plus R raised to power n. Otherwise, you can calculate in Excel format also. You can calculate its value. See here. Present value of ₹1 in 5 years at 3% is 0.863. So you can directly calculate in Excel. In Excel, you need not to give any formula. See here. Simply type present value. Rate of interest is 3%. Okay. Number of years is how many numbers are there? Number of years is 5. What is PMT in this case?
0.
50,000.
50,000 is future value.
Yeah.
Yeah, after 5 years, the value is 50,000.
Yeah.
So if you can calculate for rupees 1 also, that is 0.863. If you create a 1 future value, comma 0, bracket close, it is approximately 0.86. Or you can have C number of decimal, it is 0.86. Either you can do that, or you can simply put instead of rupees 1, you simply put 50,000. It will calculate.
Sir, in the last formula, type is 0, put as has been put as 0.
So here we also have put 0.
Yeah, here. After 50,000 future value, last
So
one.
in the case of type, you have to put 0.
Yeah, sir.
By
Please.
default, it is 0. Either if you do not put it, will assume it to be 0.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So it will be better if you put, so that there is no confusion. See here, if you instead of you putting 0, you put 1, the value will change approximately. So generally you have to put 0. Maybe it's some more minor difference. So you have to put 0. Is it clear? So formula for present value will remain same. The thing will be whether you have PMT or FV. दोनों में से एक चीज होगी. You will have either PMT or you will have future value. So here you have future value of 50,000. And if you are calculating this, see here, if you are calculating here, it is PMT. This 70,000 is PMT, which is every year. See here, if you see the difference, if you have to apply present value formula here, how can you proceed? Here, NPER is 35 and PMT is 72 and the rate of interest is 8%. See here. You put, sorry, PV, bracket start, rate of interest is 8%, number of year is 35. Now PMT, here it is PMT, which is payment every year. It is not future value. You have to make differentiate between PMT and FB. So it is 72,000 and there is nothing in PM. Simply put a comma there and then 0 in the type bracket close. You get this 8,39,120. So you must understand the difference between the two. What thing you have, whether you have PMT or you have PFV. That is important thing. Clear any doubt about this?
Clear, sir.
So while using formula, you have to be very careful. You make certain wrong entry, it will give you the wrong answer. Totally wrong answer. So you calculate its present value, it is 43,150. And similarly, present value of which is 1,75,000 at 3% for 10 years. Factor is 0.744. Its present value is 1,30,200. So out of this capitalized value of 8,38,000, you deduct these two values. These two expenditures, their present value. So the value of the asset is 6,65,000 approximately. Any doubt about this? Would you try this question yourself? A freehold commercial property is let at rupees 3 lakh per month for the first 3 years. The rent is to be increased to 5 lakh per month thereafter. Calculate the value of the property at the yield rate of 8%. Try this one. Now, how will you proceed in this question? Try to solve this question. This is simple one.
First finding the capitalized value of 3 lakh, and then later using YP perpetuity, we find the capitalized value of 5 lakh and then add both of it.
Simple one. You calculate the annual rent 3 lakh, 36 lakh per annum. YP single rate, of course, you will be using because it is 3 years. And after that, you will be using YP perpetual. And then the capitalized value of it. This is basic question, nothing new with that. Second method is also there. What we can do in the second method, first we calculate in this method annual rent for third three is taken as perpetuity. We assume it to be perpetual, and then incremental rent of 2 lakh per month or 24 lakh thereafter for 3 years is valued on the reversion of the property. But do not confuse yourself. The first method is good for you. Of course, you will get the same result with both the methods.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sir, Jai Prakash Shetty's mic is on, sir. It's disturbing.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Please repeat your question.
Same distance, sir. Sound this one.
Yes. What do you want to ask?
Such type of question may be asked by a client or a company who want to rent out its premises to someone, what should be your answer? A freehold commercial property is let out at 3 lakhs per month for the first 3 years. The rent is to be increased to rupees 5 lakhs per month thereafter. Calculate the value of the property at the yield of 8%.
Then next is, a freehold property being used as an industrial building has the following particulars. Area of the land is 24,000 square meter. Built up area is 7,200 square meter. Number of floors is ground floor only. Gross annual rent excluding local taxes is 23 lakhs. Outgoings are 1,50,000. Nature of use is engineering workshop. Permissible built up area 1/2 of the plot area. What does this mean? What is FSI in this case? What is FSI in this? See here.
0.5.
0.5, sir.
0.5. So estimated life of the structure is 40 years. Estimated rate of open land is 15,000 per square meter. Estimated cost of earth filling in the open land is 3,83,200. Land revenue paid by the owner is 550 rupees per year. Work out the value of the property. See here, this is the gross annual rent. This is the outgoing. And built up area of the land is 24,000 square meter, out of which built up area is 7,200 square meter. So how will you proceed in this question?
Calculate present value and deduct development cost.
So what we will do, we will calculate the capitalized value for this 23 lakh out of 1,50,000, and then you will deduct this 550 rupees per year, which is land revenue to be. These are the outgoings. So what you will do, gross annual income is 23 lakh, 1,50,000 as one outgoing. So net rent is 21,50,000. You calculate its present value for 40 years, allowing an interest of 12% on capital and 5% on redemption of capital. It becomes YP dual rate is 7.854. So the capitalized value of the constructed portion is 1,68 lakh 86,100. And then what is the land required for this 7,200? How much land will be required? How much land will be required for this 7,200 square meter?
Multiplied by 2. 14,400.
So it will be 14,400 rupees. So that is important thing. So land which will be required for this part of the building, land area that will be attached to this building. A footprint to this building is 14,400. So land value is 14,400 multiplied by 15,000, 21 crore 60 lakhs. But this value will be after 40 years. Because the life of the building is 40 years. So after 40 years, owner will get back this portion of the land. So the value of this land will be 3. Deferred value will be 3 crore 2 lakh 40,000. So the remaining portion of the land has to be calculated again. Out of this 24,000, 14,400 has been used. The remaining is 9,600 square meter. And the value is 15,000 into 9,600. Value is 14 crore 40 lakh. So the total value will be, see here. This is how you have to proceed. Is it clear? The value which is attached to the building, that will be available to the owner after 40 years. So you have to take its present value. And the land, remaining open land, it is available as on today. You will be calculating its present value with 15,000. You need not to defer it. And of course, from the rental income, you have to calculate the capitalized value. So the total value, you have to add all these things. Clear? Any doubt is about this?
Sir, this land area pertinent to building, this factors 2 is based on the FSI.
FSI is 0.5, sir.
Yeah, that's what I'm not.
It will be double.
Yeah, okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Any other doubt? Another question. A new constructed house standing on a plot costing 60 lakh. The construction cost of the building is 20 lakh and the estimated life of the building is 66 years. The investor desires to have 8% return on the construction cost and 5% return on the land cost, assuming the annual repairs to be 1% of the cost of construction and other outgoings at 30% of gross rent. Calculate the annual rent that will be charged for the building. The annual installment for sinking fund for life of 66 years of the building at 3% may be taken as half paisa per rupees, means 0.005. So this is sinking fund coefficient which is given to you. So see here, from the cost of land, he required 5% return. Means on 60 lakh, he require a return of 5%. Means he required 3% per 3 lakh per annum from the cost of land. And from the cost of construction, he required 8% return. Cost of construction is 20 lakh, over which he requires 8% return, means 1 crore 60 lakh. So total he required 4 lakh 60,000. So this is the net income he required. But remember, when you have to calculate the rent, In case you have to calculate the rent, you have to remember you have to calculate the gross rent. This is net rent. Gross rent is, what is gross rent? Gross rent is net rent plus outgoings. Gross rent is net rent plus outgoings. As you know, net rent is equals to gross rent minus outgoings. Net rent will be gross rent plus. So gross rent you have to calculate net rent plus outgoings. So let us suppose X is the gross income. Then outgoings are annual repair has been given 1% of construction cost, that is 20,000. And other outgoings are 30%, which is given to you of gross income. See, it is given 30% of gross income. And annual sinking fund is 0.005 of 20 lakhs. So this is 10,000. So outgoings are, net income is gross income minus 20,000 minus 0.3x. This is other outgoings, and 10,000, which is annual sinking fund. So net income is equals to 0.7x minus 30,000. So it should be equals to net income. From here you calculate x comes out to be 7 lakh. So rent per month will be 7 lakh divided by 12. It is 58,333.
So this line of annual sinking fund at 3% per annum. Can you please
see here? It is half paisa per rupees. What does this mean?
This is okay, sir.
This is
sinking fund
0.05.
rate, yeah? But
Sir,
it is
how? So what is the purpose of sinking fund?
Accumulating the fund for future repairs and all.
For future reconstruction.
Yes, sir.
So how much of sinking fund will be required? You require 20 lakh to be deposited in 66 years. So how much amount you have to deposit in the bank for 66 years so that you are able to get this 20 lakh?
That is okay, sir. But this annual sinking fund at 3% per annum.
It is not 3%. It is half paisa per annum.
That's what, sir. I got confused.
Sorry.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Clear? So this is all for today's. Thank you, Sandeep ji.
Yes.